Cheers, Slanjava. Oh my God, that is a taste of America right there. That is a taste of freedom. So good. So misunderstood. Good morning from Boston, from the Dagny Hotel. We've been staying the last couple of days here in the city. One thing I did wonder when we came here is it possible to do day trips from the city of Boston to other places close by? I wasn't sure, but anyway, we're going to test it out today because we've hired a car which is at the airport. Thankfully, the airport is not far from downtown Boston. In fact, where we're staying now, I can see the runway of the airport from the room upstairs. Anyway, we're off to the airport now. We're going to get an Uber, we're going to get a hire car, and then we're going on a day trip, and we're going to come back on the same day, and we're going to take you with us. We're going to Cape Cod. We're going to Provincetown. It's going to be fun. I'm excited. Let's get going. Alright, so we are in the hire car, which everyone said, lots of people said, driving in Boston, driving in Massachusetts is a bad idea because people drive crazily. And also the traffic apparently is terrible, but so far, none of those things have happened. Although we've literally just left the airport and we're now on the tunnel underground thing that goes towards Boston. Anyway, we're in the car and we're going to be driving to Provincetown, P-Town as some people call it, and we'll see what we get up to there. I don't know, like,
I think in the wrong way.
I think I'm not. Am I?
South we need to go. Yeah. Or
I was in the wrong lane. Tech has guided me, but we've also got the maps up on the GPS, so we should all be good. But yeah, Boston is a large city, and when you arrive in a new city and you're not from the country, like, driving is something that's always a little bit intimidating. And as I'm pointed out to regularly, I am used to driving on the wrong side of the road. Here in America, I'm now driving on the correct side of the road, but that's obviously different for me, right? Well, I don't really notice a difference. Like, I can change one side to the other and it's fine, usually, mostly. I think I've only made one mistake like that. Anyway, here we go. Alright, we've stopped at a place called Braintree because someone's got car sick. And I've got, for the first time on this trip, something I absolutely love. And that I don't ever buy in the UK because one there is reduced sugar and terrible, full of aspartame. Here it's full sugar and it is delightful. Every time I come back to the States, I look forward to getting my Dr. Pepper. Cheers, Slanjava. Oh my God, that is a taste of America right there. That is a taste of freedom. So good. So misunderstood. Well, one day to the next, the weather's changed bizarrely. I think we've brought it with us all the way from Plymouth in the UK. That's what it feels like here. We are now in Plymouth, Massachusetts, our first stop on our one-day road trip from Boston. We're here because, well, many of you guys will know, this was the Pilgrim colony. They came all the way from Plymouth in the 1500s. One of the first colonies to settle here in North America, which way out through the years after that became the USA. They came all the way from Plymouth in England because they were religiously persecuted. I think I just made that phrase up. But that's what happened. And we're here to check out, see if we can find the stone. I actually think it's right in front of us. There it is. The Plymouth Rock, where the settlers were said to have first stepped off the Mayflower boat. It's kind of cool. So yeah, the Plymouth Rock is seen as a symbol of the founding of America, which is interesting. But also a funny story for you. So in Edinburgh we have a famous symbol, which is a statue of Bobby the dog. And what do you always say about Bobby the dog?
It's not real.
It's not, the story is not real, it's a farce, it's only for tourists. And apparently, reading the signs back there, a similar thing could be said about the Plymouth Rock, because the Pilgrims never ever mentioned the rock in any of their writings, and it was 100 years later roundabout when the first mentions of the Plymouth Rock came to be. But I am all about stories, I'm all about folklore. I believe in Bobby, alright? So I also believe in the Pilgrim Rock, the Plymouth Rock, you know? Whether or not that is the exact stone they stepped out on when they landed here on their boat, who knows? But it would have been there or thereabout, right? It would have been roughly in the same area. So good on the people here for creating that symbol. An important landmark here in the whole country of the USA. And I believe many people can trace their ancestry back to those pilgrims, which is interesting. Anyway, I think there's a replica of the Mayflower boat up ahead. I can see it. The Mayflower too. So yeah, in 1957, this boat was built in Plymouth, in Devon, in England. It is a replica of the first Mayflower. So about, what, 60 years ago now? Just over 60 years ago? They built this in Plymouth and they brought it, well, I don't actually know if they built it in Plymouth, but they set sail from Plymouth in England. And they brought it over the Atlantic to commemorate those pilgrims who left Plymouth all those hundreds of years earlier. And now here it is, sitting as a museum. Unfortunately, we don't have time to go in it today, but pretty cool to be here nonetheless and see it up close. The thing is, for these pilgrims, when they came over here, and of course back in those days, never had the same kind of clothing technology that we do today. And the first winter, it was freezing, and many of the people who came aboard the Mayflower and landed here died in the first year. And over time, many more died as well because of disease and sickness. But they would have all died if it wasn't for the local native people who looked after them and tried to keep them warm and safe in their first years here, which I find fascinating. This was built in 1745, huh? As we're walking through the town here as well, you can really see the beauty in architecture in some of these old houses, which have been here for a very long time. This one, for example, was built in 1745. Wow, a lot of history here. It is very, very cute. A lot of US flags, stars and stripes all along the street, and you can just see the pride that people take in the fact that this is one of the locations where it all started. It's really an honour to be here. To be honest with you, I'm really glad that we made this stop. We weren't sure if we should have if it would be out the way or whatever, but it was really cool to come and visit.